Hello everyone, this is a Sunday High Priestess. I hope you guys are doing well. For those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who have been with me for a little bit, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just remember we are a growing channel, so it would mean the world to me if you hit share, like, and definitely subscribe so you know what, we offer. And I do readings as well, private readings. So all you have to do is reach out to me. The email is in the description box. And for those of you who actually collect tarot, these are the tarot cards I designed. Very traditional in a way. So if you are into tarot and you like the design, just send me a message so that way we can connect. All right, so let's get started and see what Spirit has for you at this point. I've been doing some past, present, and future readings, so some of those will be posted shortly. And as always, if this reading doesn't resonate, there are plenty of other readings on the channel that you could check out at any given time. They are timeless, so if this doesn't resonate, or if you see a video that was from, I don't know, 3 months ago and you're like, oh my God, this really is speaking to me, obviously there was a message there for you. So let's get started and see what Spirit has for you at this time. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Let's see. I call in my spirit guides and my ancestors of the highest white light to help you read for the collective. All right. Great energy, guys. Hopefully we have a nice and happy reading. Okay, so I feel like there's certain things that are going to be illuminated to you in the next few months, next few weeks. There's something that Spirit is going, you're very protected, first of all, but Spirit is going to shine a light into, I'm hearing someone that's been wearing a mask. For some of you, it's going to be regarding some of your boundaries. Okay. For others of you, it's going to be regarding a movement. So that way you're able to move forward with this information. There is something that you have been sort of getting little hints about, little by little. And this has been like, and this is like the last bit of information that's going to come out. Okay. This information or these things that have happened in the past have led you to actually create stronger boundaries for yourself. Okay. Not only stronger boundaries, but it allowed you to, I'm hearing for some, build a fort around yourself. Okay. And for others, it allowed you to protect yourself better, to speak up for yourself. So there were a lot of things that happened that allowed for this energy to sort of transform you. You know what? I'm going to put this light up too. Hold on. There we go. So it allowed you to sort of work with divine, okay? It allowed you to sort of be guarded, but be malleable, if that's a thing. because you were still working and learning, okay? So let's see what this energy is about. Let's see. What messages do you have for the collective regarding this? What messages do you have regarding this? Thank you. So this is regarding the lovers, okay? This is regarding the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your love. Fruits could be children. It could be here transcribed. Translated rather as children. A union. Someone that you see eye to eye. Someone that you're very connected psychically. Someone that sees you and you see them as a Nine of Cups, a wish fulfillment. Let me move this up here. Someone that you see as financially stable, okay? You're going to grow together to build something very financial. You have had many cycles with this person, okay? Many, many cycles. And right now, I'm hearing the clock is up. Or the time is up. In this timeline, it's going to be more fruitful. You're definitely going to be building things. This person may be a king of wands or may see themselves as a king of wands. They may have that energy. Definitely working towards having a better and calmer future, okay? Having a stable union that's built off true feelings. Looking forward to better stability. And healthier choices, okay? Healthier choices. You're going to be very, very, I'm hearing commendable, okay? So there's something that you've done or something this person has done that's very commendable. You're winning in life. Okay, you're definitely winning in life. One more, please, and thank you. You're definitely seen as the winner in a situation, okay? Yeah, this person's no longer juggling. In the past, they may have been juggling. You may have been juggling, not just with two people, maybe two jobs, two opposing ideas, opposing cultures. Something that was opposed before is definitely not now. You or this person may have walked away from a situation that was not for you. Okay, you may have left a lot of things behind. It could have been a lifestyle. Yep, Chariot. It could have been a lifestyle, a person, people, etc. So a lot of movement forward into stability and into happiness. So happiness and joy is definitely part of your future. You're going to be working diligently, okay, diligently. And again, the Queen of Swords, okay? The Queen of Swords. So you have learned to put up those boundaries. You have learned to use your voice. You have learned to defend yourself. And this person is definitely going to be offering you their heart. There's going to be a major offer here. Offer of money, of stability. This person is definitely a magician, okay? A magician. So the two of you can alchemize a lot. A lot. Okay, let's see. Let's start here. What messages do you have for the collective regarding this? Please and thank you. What messages do you have for the collective? Canary's call. Okay, Canary's call. The bird song brings messages of hope and joy, signaling an end to crisis and urging balance in life. It reminds you to blend duty with pleasure, promising that a storm will pass and harmony awaits. Again, you know, that Two of Wands, you're going to be going into a more, you know, stable, calmer future, okay? Thank you. And there's going to be new love for a lot of you, okay? New love. Thank you. You're going to have multiple options, okay? And multiple options, not just in love, but in different choices with different potentials. You know, you got to consider your journey. Where do you want to go? Do you want to be the CEO of a certain company? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to live a quiet life in the suburbs? Do you want to live off the grid? You know, everybody has different choices and different journeys. So this is just saying that to choose wisely. You know, things may present themselves to you that you're going to have to carefully look what fits and what doesn't fit, what sounds good, what is genuine, what is not, and, you know, take it from there. What is going to be not only mentally and emotionally and physically and spiritually beneficial to you, but what makes more sense? You know, what makes more sense? You know, is the job that's going to be paying, let's say, $100,000, going to be beneficial to you, but, you know, that means that you're going to be working 6 days a week. You're going to be spending time away from your family. You're going to be, you know, putting in 12-hour days. You know, is that beneficial for you? You know, at the end of the day, you know, at the end of the year, you'll have 100K, but there are things that you will need to give up. As opposed to, let's say, you know, you start your own company, you know, you may be struggling to pay the bills, but, you know, that company is going to somehow or other pay off. Maybe not this year, maybe in 3 years. So you always have to weigh the pros and the cons, okay? Downloads. For a lot of you, you're getting a lot of downloads. So you need to rest, okay? You need to connect to your guides. You need to listen to those little whispers. You need to listen to those little insights, okay? Sometimes, you know, the little insights are big and you may hear them very, very loud. Other times, you know, and this is what, you know, sometimes I always laugh. I don't know if you guys, I'm probably, you know, dating myself. What was that show with the vampires? True Blood. Okay, if you guys ever watched True Blood, And the guy that was, oh my God, I used to love him. His name is not Bashan. I know it's not. Lafayette. There you go. Lafayette. He was actually, very spiritual, and he could see, and he used to get downloads himself. But he would say to every so often, you hear him say, dead folk could be so cryptic, and it's true. You have to kind of like let your spirit guides know, let your ancestors know, you know, stop being so cryptic. Just, let you know what they need you to know in a way that you could understand. I mean, it's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people that get downloads, and, people that are intuitive. Sometimes they give you things and you're like, what the heck is that? And you're trying to kind of put things together, trying to put the symbols together, and it just, at that moment, it just doesn't make sense. And sometimes it doesn't make sense for weeks, so you need to kind of like get in the habit of, just let them know, say, hey, can you just, when you're giving me a message, or when I'm dreaming about something, or, if you're giving me an intuitive message, make it as simple as possible so I could understand it. Don't be afraid to kind of like communicate with them. House cleaning. Okay, so this is not saying that your house is dirty. Okay, this is more spiritual cleaning. So for some of you, you may need, everybody cleans their house differently. One of my favorite ways to clean the house is obviously sage, because it's easy. And this is part of who I am. I love, to get in there with sage and do my thing. You may not like it, it may make you, some people make some sneeze, or, they're very sensitive, with their sinuses, so they don't like the smell or whatever. Use prayer, use meditation, use holy water. For those of you, and I've said it before, ocean water works wonders. Okay, not everybody could go down the shore and get ocean water. Okay, salt and water. Everybody has water. Everybody has salt. Intention is great. Get yourself some water. Get yourself some, salt. Pray on it. Get your intention in there and clean your home. Prayer. Light a candle. Candles are not that expensive. Pray. Light your candle. Put your intention. Do it for 3 days, 6 days, 9 days, however long you want. Just be very careful and be very responsible when you do have a candle. Keep it away from kids, because kids want to touch everything. And just put it in a space that is going to be safe. But just remember, anything and everything that you do, the biggest thing is intention. Okay, what is the intention behind it? And if your intention is to clear your home, then, obviously put that intention in. One more, please. For some of you, you feel like you need to get away from a karmic cycle, okay? That you've been working very, very hard to avoid a karmic cycle. For a lot of you, you can alchemize. I think the magician had come out before. So you can alchemize a lot of this negative energy, okay? Anything that's being sent to you, you could easily alchemize it and use it to your benefit, For some of you, you may have been involved or been around an energy vampire, okay? For a lot of you, you are an ascended master, which is probably why you spiritually get attacked so much. And for a lot of you, you've dealt with a very, very complicated situation. You know, it's not black and white. It's not like, oh, this is my ex and that's it. You know, a lot of people, you know, they don't understand when you break up with certain people. You know, why isn't it easy to kind of move away from certain people? Well, you know, sometimes it's not as black and white as like, hey, you know, there goes my ex and we broke up 10 months ago. For some people it is. For other people, there's a very, very muddy gray area, you know, that may take a while to sort of sort through. You know, there's a huge file cabinet of different emotions, different things that went on. And I'm getting that for some of you, maybe this is an ex that, you know, there may have been a very tricky divorce with a lot of documents that needed to be sorted through. So, you know, everything in its time, okay? Don't put undue pressure on yourself. It will get sorted little by little. Don't ever be, you know, don't ever feel pressure to cut your feelings off. Feelings are valid, okay? Feelings are very, very valid. And some people, because they want to stick their nose where it doesn't belong, they feel they have the right to tell other people, well, you know, you need to get over it. You need to get over her. You need to get over him. You need to kind of like move on with your life. And, you know, you need to do this. You need to do that. Well, you know, they need to mind their business, first of all. And, you know, you need to honor those feelings and go through them and work through them. That's how you move on. You work, you do your work. When you don't do your work and you negate certain feelings and certain things, that's when you get stuck, okay? And that's when you start pretending that your heart is not broken. That's when you start pretending that everything is wonderful in your life. And that's how you start pretending that, you know, this person didn't matter. And what happens is when you start doing that, you don't grow from that. You don't learn from it, and you get stuck. And what ends up happening a lot of times is that then you repeat that cycle. It may not be with the same person, but you repeat it with another person. And this time that lesson is so much harder. Okay. Let's see. One more, please. One more. Ooh. Yep, you have heightened abilities, okay? And again, you're very intuitive. You're very intuitive. You could alchemize a lot of this energy. You could see through, I'm hearing through people's souls. For some of you, can read people very, very easily. Okay, let's see what your person has to say. What your person has to say. What does the person? Thank you. Okay. These feelings are eating me alive. We're just talking about feelings. Childhood trauma. So for a lot of you, or you or your person may have been working through childhood trauma. Alcohol or drugs may have been an issue. One more, please. Okay. Let me get one more from here. One more. Oh, I got it turned. One more, please, and thank you. Thank you. I don't want to be alone. So for a lot of you, you feel like you're very, very alone, or your person feels like they're very alone. Okay. They may feel like their life is a mess. They may feel like, you know, they're missing you. Let me see. What advice? Don't stop, okay? Spirit wants you to keep going. And reconsider. There's something that you got to think about and reconsider. Okay? And it's the perfect timing. So for whatever it is that you're working on or that you're thinking of, it is the perfect timing, okay? What advice do you have for the collective? No, that's too many, guys. What advice do you have for the collective, please and thank you? Thank you. Spiritual union. So you're going to be coming into a spiritual union with someone from your past or the future, okay? Someone that you're going to build a very strong foundation, okay? Very strong foundation. Someone that you're going to find harmony with. Take care of your sacral chakra, okay? Meditate, meditate. And make sure that you stand your ground. So I think this is a perfect way to end this, because basically it goes over the entire reading, from learning those boundaries, okay? Trying to find harmony with the Two of Wands, the Queen of Swords. You're trying to, you know, find that foundation, you know, build that strong foundation. And you're building a strong connection and having a strong connection with a spiritual union, with someone that's going to be, you know, spiritually yoked to you. So I hope this message resonated with you. Please hit share and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care.